Hey guys, good afternoon to everybody. It's 11 something here in Michigan. We are snowed in. It's a third day. We're totally snowed in. I'm showing you a view from my my house, and I wish that guy would move the garbage can. Yeah, it's definitely. The winter is definitely here, and it inspires me. Just a second, guys. I'm just showing you a view from my window. My son was tried to spray our windows yesterday with some kind of snow spray, so my windows look a little dusty from that. Hey, Aaron. Hey, everybody. I didn't think I'm gonna see anyone this time, but I just couldn't help. I want to get on live. Can you guys hear me well? You can see my little Russian doll there sitting with Santa, having a good time. So let me see if I can get the camera back on me. So I just want to show you, it's like definitely winter wonderland, but we are definitely snowed in today. It's gonna probably be all day. And you know, it's one of these days when you want to have some food in your fridge, or you want to have something, like you want to unfreeze something because you might not make it to the grocery store. So it's really one of those days. Yesterday my son and I, we get out in the snow and had some fun, and I tried to make a video in a coffee shop, but the connection wasn't great. So I want to tell you guys today a little bit of our history in USSR and post-USSR now, about, you know, Christmas and New Year's and how different it was. Thanks, Chuck. I'm glad you like my hat. Thank you. Can you guys hear me well? I presume that you can. I live near Lansing, Michigan, like Lansing suburb. Lansing is the capital, and everybody thinks that Detroit is the capital, but Lansing is the capital, and I live about 20 minutes in a really small town. So, oh, awesome! Thank you, Chuck. Because people been complaining. I tried different mics, and I'm just getting, like, I'm gonna get myself a big ass mic. You know, like these big professional ones. Thank you, guys. So let's go into it. I want to tell you guys a little bit about how things used to be when we were little. And you guys know that I still hit the late Soviet era. And in our countries in post-USSR, it was kind of reversed how it is in the Western world. So our Orthodox Christmas would be in January, from January 6th to 7th. It's Christmas Orthodox, and it's a lot different than celebration of Christmas here. So to explain it the best, it would be the big deal in that time was the New Year's. This when kids would get gifts. This is where Santa, or our Grandpa Frost, Ded Moroz in Russian, would come with gifts. And as a kids, oh my God, it was such a big treat. I want you guys to know that in that time, in Soviet time, we were not spoiled a lot. We didn't have a lot of toys. We didn't have a lot of stuff. And there is definitely good things about it, you know. There is definitely, now I understand in some ways it was good, because a lot of people were very less materialistic. We were investing more in, you know, learning and education and sports and things like that. So there were actually a lot of positive things about Soviet era. It's not that that is a good regime, but there were a lot of good things. People were not obsessed so much about consumers' goods just because we didn't have very many. But for New Year's, even people that maybe didn't have the like my parents were engineers, and they would be extremely rich here in US, but they were very regular. But my mom, somehow she would save money. My mom would save money for the New Year's, and she would always have like really sweet gifts. It was before the iPads and cell phones, so whatever it was, I remember it was just really magical. And so parents would have things ready for the kids, and it was really exciting because in my household my mom would wait till we fall asleep so she can be the Santa, and she would put these gifts, but we won't be able to see when she does it. And I just remember that excitement of finding it. And the thing is, when you don't have a lot of stuff, when you don't have a lot of those things, and the whole thing is so special, like nowadays you don't even know what to give to a kid, because they have loads and loads of toys, and you just it blows your mind what to give them. And that's why I think that be a little bit hungry isn't a bad thing at all, because then you can feel the taste of food. At least that's how it feels to me. So I have a funny story now with my own son. So we are working on a letter to Santa, and I am with my philosophy asking for some things in this year that we need the most. And I want to have some new achievement. I want to have more good time. I want to grow. And I wrote something in terms of love first, strength and courage to go for things. And my son is like, well, an iPad would be nice too. He's I'm trying to influence him with my example, but he's so funny. He's like, yeah, it would be nice to have an iPad. Like, love, strength and courage is great, but but he's actually pretty good. He's not spoiled at all, because I do things old-fashioned way, which he sometimes hates now, but I know the appreciation will grow with time, as it usually does. Oh my gosh, I have another funny story. This morning in our book club, we had a conversation about Christmas gifts. And in our book club, we have some very accomplished and very wealthy people that are entrepreneurs. Like, I learned from them. I'm very blessed to be around them. And this one couple, they're really a power couple, and so their kids are growing up, and I think they are like somewhere in their 50s, but they look absolutely incredible. I would never even think that they are over like 40 years old. But their kids are grown up, and they meet in some place all together for Christmas. I think they have 3 kids that are very successful, young adults. And the dad is saying on a book club, he says, well, we don't give gifts for Christmas, we give empowerment. I know exactly what he meant. So basically, they get together for Christmas, and the parents, mom and dad, talking to kids, they're grown up, seeing where they're at life, what they want to achieve, what kind of support they need. Maybe they need an advice, maybe they need something else. And, and we were laughing so hard because we just imagine, just like regular mentality. If parents would say like, okay, we're not giving gifts this Christmas, we're not giving stuff, but what we are given is empowerment. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. But I actually think it's amazing. We were supposed to get over so much the candies and toys, and there is nothing like having a gift of reconnecting with your family during the holidays and have meaningful conversations. Well, these people are really talented. They achieve a lot of things in life, but they are just really looking at what's important. But here, this is where I can compare to our country. In our country, the traditions are still very strong. And the reason why I'm also making this video is that I want to say, if you're visiting somebody in Ukraine that you know for a while, or maybe just met, there are certain etiquette things. It will be maybe I should actually make a different video for this, for an etiquette during Christmas time and things like that, because people might take you the wrong way, and if you give empowerment for Christmas. So, but let me go a little bit back again and tell you. So there was a significant difference between how you guys, for example, celebrate New Year. Here is not such a big deal. People would just maybe go out or stay home and have a toast and kiss at 12, which is kind of nice. In our country, up till now, it was a huge big deal. It's still, I think it's a still big deal, but there are some political aspects right now that are messing up or changing our traditions. So it used to be, ever since I remember myself till I left, and till about a year or two, New Year's, big deal, women are getting ready. Oh my gosh, you've never seen so many beautiful dresses, perfumes, makeup. It's almost like a fashion show, but it's filled with excitement. I wouldn't say it's superficial. Women want to be as beautiful as they can be. They want to celebrate. They want to light the room. They want to, it's like inspiration. Even I'm a woman myself, but when I get into that, it's like, you just want to, you like your own celebrity. You want to shine, spark, ignite, inspire. And it's very, very exciting, and that's how I remember it. Of course, for the men, they would prepare some things and gifts. And of course, guys, what the most desirable gift have been in Ukraine and Russia for many, many, many years. You know what that is, right? Yes, that's correct. It's a fur coat. It's almost like this classic story, the wife wanting a fur coat. Of course, now more women are driving, so there is also, vehicles and whatever. But, guys, let's be real. Not everybody were able to obtain these things. And usually people would just do the best of what they got. And that's my favorite thing. I think just... people would cook all day, bake all day. It's amazing. One of our biggest sign of a holiday is like 59 different kinds of dishes. It's insane. And I think, guys, this also comes to a Soviet time when we didn't have enough. When we had only that much of produce or only that much of things available. So for us, holidays is this reconnecting and having this incredible meal. People might have even been saving for it and filling up their fridge. And I still remember to this day, my mom, when I wanted to, I want to have some treat, I will see in the fridge, and I'm like, and my mom, that's for New Year's. That's been like our thing that, whatever delicious meal is on a table and tempting or in the fridge is all for New Year's. Otherwise, don't touch, don't bite, it's not for now. But then when New Year comes, we have other 58 dishes. And it's like you can't taste them all, and then you end up overeating, and then your face is in the salad. And man, I always wished, it's funny, when I was a kid, I've always wished that all these dishes could be divided through the year. That was my dream. But we definitely had fun. I just want to say that our parents back in USSR, 80s and 90s kids, that I can relate to, they did their best to make a holiday for us. They did their best. They didn't have, often they didn't have like some crazy savings, or people actually were not saving in our time, because, in Soviet time, because everything was kind of predictable in a way, like, that on this day you're going to get, let's say, 500 rubles, like roughly, I don't know. They would say, okay, they would have their jobs for 20, 30, 40 years, same job, same salary. It was extremely predictable. When you finish in college, you already know what job you're going to get. So we didn't have this culture of saving. But for the holidays and for making us gifts and doing some things and kind of getting together as a family, it was definitely very, very special. So our parents would do beyond of what's possible. And those little things were very precious, like just cooking together, having like special family meal, because it was definitely happening only on holidays. So, but right now, what's happening right now in Ukraine? Right now, Ukraine is trying to adopt the Western system. A lot of it has to do with the conflict on the east with Russia. So Ukraine is trying to separate from Russia as much as they can, and break every common traditions and custom that we have. And it's, as to me, it's kind of sucks, because there is nothing wrong with celebrating New Year the way we always did. By the way, the most important part of a New Year, it was President's speech at 12 a.m. and it was the big clock on a red square. The sound of that big clock. It was amazing. I don't know how to say this. The big clock. It was ticking. I don't know the other word to say it. But it was a powerful, beautiful sound. We will all get up, we'll have champagne, make our wishes, and then cheer. It was really special, and I don't think that Ukraine must become exact copy of Western world. I see nothing wrong with us learning about the customs and maybe being like embracing some of the holidays, but it's kind of strange that all of a sudden we need to forget everything that we have. If anything, we can add, but we should not just kill our roots because of politician fighting. I'm trying to stay away from politics as much as I can, but there is a reason why I'm bringing this up. So now, in Ukraine, this is the first year we have official Christmas Catholic, which is going to be somewhat celebrated because it's very new and most people are not Catholic. But now we have official holiday, 24th and 25th of December. It's the first year. And then we have New Year's, and they're trying to kind of diminish the New Year's and change that style of celebration and just change it all. So I will ask my mom how they celebrating. I know that there is no Russian media available, so they're definitely not going to be the traditional clock, from the Red Square. I don't even know what it's going to be like, but I can tell you that people of my age, younger a little bit and a little bit older, will probably still celebrate New Year's like we always did, with a big celebrative spirit. My favorite part about this was just some kind of magic in the air. Just like here, you know, when you feel that spirit of joy and connecting and spending time with people you love on Christmas. That's the same thing we would have on a New Year. So I miss it. And when I came here in US, one of the hardest things for me was that New Year's wasn't celebrated basically, and it was, I mean, not like there, and it was difficult. It was difficult to be cut. I felt like being on emotional starvation because things that mattered to me, things that I love to do, they were all backwards. But what you learn is you adjust, you adopt, and you just make the most of things. Another thing is you can create your own environment in your household. You know, you can create things the way you like them. So, basically, it used to be years and decades, same thing. You know, New Year's in USSR, big deal, big holiday, and then we would have Christmas on 6th to 7th January, January 6th Christmas night on 7th Christmas Day. And that is a more of spiritual holiday, is that when people get together, there would be 12 dishes, and it's no gifts. It's kind of like just family gathering. It's a religious holiday. It's sweet, it's special, but it's not, you know, Santa and gifts were not involved in that. So, and it's more of relaxed, it's more of casual, kind of sweet, home, things like that. And then we have the weirdest holiday. If you guys, I don't know if you ever heard about this, we have the weirdest holiday on January 13th through January 14th. It's Old New Year. It's called Old New Year. So basically it's kind of New Year's old style. So basically holidays would start January 31st through January 14th, because we would have New Year Eves, New Year Day. Then a couple of days you would still be celebrating then Christmas, Orthodox Christmas, 6th to 7th. And then if you didn't get enough fun on New Year's, we would celebrate Old New Year's style, January 13th to 14th. And then on January 19th, we have Epiphany. I think I'm saying it correctly. It's like a big big religious holiday. It's like a renewal, you know, when people go into waters, even if it's super cold and snowy, they go into any kind of water outside. They take their clothes off and they take a dip in ice cold water. It's kind of like renewal, Epiphany. I believe I'm saying it correctly. So it's also my son's birthday, January 19th. I was really excited about that date. Yeah. So the winter is filled with some strong holidays and things like that. But right now, to be very precise and very exact, I could update you on holidays after the holidays in Ukraine, because the politics have been changing mind, and they're trying to change our traditions and customs. So I am not sure. It's gonna take years though to change it, because especially from people who are already matured and grew up with these things. But if to make one bottom line, holidays should be good. You know, we should do them the way make us feel good. And sometimes we feel very depressed because the way we celebrate something isn't meeting the standard. It's nice to learn and know the etiquette, and that'll be my next video, telling about more of things, how you can prepare and make something pleasant for the person you care. But I think overall we need to concentrate on what makes us happy, not only holidays but every day, and kind of live to that, because a lot of times things are very much materialized, and things are very much cookie cutter, for everybody. And, whatever makes you happy, make sure you get it. And it all boils down to things that keep us feeling really good deep inside. It depends also on person's love language. You guys know what love language is, right? There are 5 different ones. It's basically what kind of appreciation the person sees about or would like to receive from somebody. There are some people that very much love gifts. There are some people that love spending time. Some people, enjoy most the touch, some the conversation, some the service. So here is an example, because we had so little of material things when I was growing up. For me, back then, I think one of the biggest love languages was gifts. I loved gifts so much because it was so rare and it was special. But now, as I'm evolved into a grown person, I think gifts probably is 5th on my love language scale. Even though I love them, I enjoy them too, and it's always sweet to receive any kind of attention, especially from people that matter. But it's interesting how gifts in my scale evolve to time, to spending time together, and then all the other things. So if you want to make something special for your lady in Ukraine, if you say you love her, if you say you know her, you gotta figure out what makes your heart beat, what makes you excited. And you can be that special Santa, secret Santa, and put a smile on her face. Very often it's more than one thing. Like, for example, it can be time, service, gifts. For somebody it's affectionate things, it's touch and spending time together, and I don't know, maybe going places. So before you claim that you love a woman, that you know a woman, you gotta know, you gotta research her, you gotta know what makes your heart beat, skip a bit, what makes you excited. And so as the woman that cares about you, she will figure out what is that you feel most appreciated. Some men like to hear sometimes just simple words of appreciation, because they don't get that because they serve and they do things daily, they go to work, and this all just taken for granted. And just having somebody who believes in you and somebody acknowledge your impact, and maybe when a woman, your special woman, writes you a Christmas card and she appreciates all the things you've done, for some men, they would like to hear once in a while that they matter, that they doing something right. So it's a kind of interesting process of getting to know each other. And just by knowing how people like to be rewarded is kind of giving you a guide and giving you an insight who that person you are with really is. If you know how the person likes to be rewarded, you know quite a bit about that person. So, and as I said, often it can be a combination of things. So It's really great seeing you guys. I didn't think anybody would be here in the afternoon. I just wanted to show you a little bit of the snow, and to tell you a little bit of our Christmas things and New Year celebrations back in USSR time, and now post-USSR, and now a new era in Ukraine when we're trying to copy everything that Western people do. You know, it does have its pluses because we learn more about the Western culture, so it kind of making the bridge between us smaller. So I see that as a positive, but I kind of like to keep the way things are. I mean, the way things were, because I guess because they just kind of were ingrained in us, and I feel that now people taking the politician taking away our identity, you know, just because they can figure things out. But I think this is a season when we have to stay away from politics. That's would be the best thing ever, to have no political conversation on Christmas tables or New Year time. I think that would be one good thing, a practice. Because regardless of what's changing, it's in our hands to just have some special time with people that we love. And if you guys have some particular questions about Ukrainian etiquette, or feel free to post them, because I will make a live on travel, on gifts, and how to just apply the basic knowledge of Ukrainian customs, and how to feel comfortable if you travel for this holiday. Have a great afternoon, everybody. I'm going to show you again my snow window. Just a minute. I'll try. Yes, it stopped snowing. It was blowing and snow, but it stopped now. So, have a wonderful day, everybody.